Evolution is change over time. It is the process by which modern organisms have descended from ancient organisms. $4.6 billion years ago, our Earth was created, but only 3.5 billion years ago did life form on our home planet. We want to know how. Don't you? The basic unit of life is a cell. So where did cells come from? Well, first there were inorganic chemicals, which then bonded and created organic compounds. These organic compounds form the building blocks of life, macromolecules: proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. From these macromolecules, the structure of the cell and cell membrane was formed. From there, the organelles combined. Everything was arranged properly, and bam, we had the cell. Now that we have our basic outline, what is the theory to back it up? First, we have the primordial or prebiotic soup. This theory states that life began on the surface of ponds and oceans. With the gases coming off the surface mixing with the chemicals in the atmosphere, cells were created, linking small or inorganic molecules into large organic molecules. Secondly, we have the hydrothermal vent theory. In this theory, it is stated that life began at the bottom of the ocean. The hydrothermal vents let out rich hydrogen gas and mixed with carbon dioxide-rich water. Now that we have life, what did the Earth do with it? Why did the dinosaurs disappear? Why is there evidence of animals that no longer exist? Why do some fossils look like animals today? There are two theories as to why, but only one is right. Let's see if you can figure it out. The two scientists who first theorized the idea of evolution were Jean-Baptiste Lamarck and Charles Darwin. Lamarck was the first to recognize that living things have changed over time, but Darwin took his theory and furthered the research. Lamarck believed that organisms changed over time because they wanted to be perfect. His theory said that animals were constantly changing to suit their environment. It was stated that species could use or disuse the organs to make them stronger or bigger. When they were used or needed, they would become weaker and eventually disappear. The third part to his theory was the inheritance of acquired traits. He also thought that organisms could never become extinct. For example, way back when, there used to be only short-necked giraffes. There came a day when there were no more low trees. "Oh no," said the giraffe, "there are only high trees left." To get their food, the giraffes had to constantly stretch their necks till they were the appropriate length. The long neck trait that the giraffes acquired was then passed down to their offspring. The giraffes strived for perfection to adapt to their long neck.
Go.
Natural selection is animals trying to adapt. The harder they try, the better they adapt. The end.
Now, Lamarck's theory sounded right, but a man named Charles Darwin thought differently. He worked off of Lamarck's discoveries to improve his theory. He found that for animals to adapt to their surroundings, there had to be a variation of the species. Life for animals was survival for the fittest. If you weren't suited for the environment, your species would die out. The ones that survived passed on their surviving traits to their offspring. For example, the same giraffe that Lamarck thought to have grown their long necks, Darwin understood that something different happened. He found that there was a variation of giraffes, some with short necks, some with medium-sized necks, and some with long necks. The giraffes with short necks could not reach the food on the small trees along with the medium-sized necks. Because of this, the small and medium-sized necks died due to starvation, and the long-necked giraffes were able to survive and reproduce.
Go.
There's no way you can test revolution. It's just a theory.
And the spirit of life.
Well, we have evidence for you. Evolution is observable. The fossil record shows that many different types of animals have lived on Earth in the past. It shows how that variations of species have lived here and have changed over time.
The geographic distribution of living species shows that species have common ancestors, proving that animals have changed due to their environment.
Similarities in early development show that many organisms have similar genes. Also, because of the similar genes, it proves they have homologous body structures.
Along with all the facts, there are many misconceptions. Some say that evolution improves life with every generation. This is false. Offspring does not always change for the better, giving a variation on this
Pair
earth.
is replaced by
Rather,
another.
offspring changes
Now
at
that the
random and
coding
is
has changed,
uncontrollable.
the gene may not work properly.
While evolution does affect the change in population, genetic mutation can also change populations over time. Through mutations in the DNA, organisms and species may alter.
We hope that this documentary has evolved your knowledge about the mystery of evolution.